Today we're going to talk about planet habitability and how specific characteristics can influence the habitability of a planet. The first characteristic is mass, or how much stuff it's made up of. We can generally think of mass as very similar to gravity. When we talk about mass, one of the key things is the retention of the atmosphere, meaning the planet has enough mass to keep the small particles in its atmosphere from being blown away by solar winds. So, for example, if we look at Mercury in our own solar system, it has a very tenuous or thin atmosphere because it's constantly getting blown away by solar winds. If we're talking about the specific situation of transferring humans from Earth to another planet, then we have some other concerns about gravity. Because if we transition from the gravity of Earth to something drastically different, that's going to cause a lot of problems. Another characteristic that's very important is atmosphere composition, or what the atmosphere is made of. Now, this is essential for life as we know it, and this would be things like the percentage of nitrogen, the percentage of oxygen or CO2 that's in an atmosphere. Now, not only are these things necessary for the life on Earth, for humans to breathe oxygen, and that we have to have enough oxygen to breathe, the atmosphere can also influence other characteristics such as the temperature of a planet through things like the greenhouse effect. If an atmosphere has lots of CO2 or other greenhouse gases, it can increase the temperature that's there. Another characteristic we're concerned about is atmosphere quantity or thickness. This is because the atmosphere, however thick it is, helps to protect the planet from radiation and can also influence the greenhouse effect. Our atmosphere on Earth does a lot of things to protect us from solar winds and from other types of radiation coming in. So we're going to also talk about temperature, and that's the last characteristic we're going to cover here. And we're going to talk the difference between the temperature range and the average temperature of a planet. Now, temperature range is the difference between the highest temperature and the lowest temperature. Now, this is less important than the average temperature because it doesn't tell the whole story. We've had some really high temperatures on Earth and some really low temperatures on Earth that would be very difficult to live in if that's the way it was all the time. And we also have lots of examples of people who have been able to adjust to those temperatures through technology and other things, which would still be available if we were transplanting humans to another place. We're more concerned about the average temperature because it shows the general situation that if we were either finding life or transferring humans or Earth life to another planet, what that situation would be like that they'd have to live in.